Okay, I'm going to give this a shot. My very first oracle reading here. I have just went through the book and got all the meanings and wrote them all down over here. And then what I did is I mixed them up and then went through them to see if I could remember what they mean. It's going well so far. I think it's probably one or two that still kind of stump me, but we'll try it. So I made a little spread. In the middle will be, can you see? This is on my phone, and I'm not putting it sideways. I don't like that. This is why it's this way. So I made a spread. In the middle is the situation. And there's positive, negative, and what you need to learn. Okay? So, let's see. Let's do me first. This is a question I ask my tarot all the time. Is what do I need to be aware of right now? And we shall see what it says. What do I need to be aware of? Milk and honey. This is the card of all your needs are met. Prosperity. The positive is the observer. So this is the outside looking in. This is the sort of neutral perspective. The negative is why. This is the search for knowledge. So everything is not quite known, which is interesting because you have like the prosperity and the abundance right here. Like all your needs are met. This is the situation going on. And from the outside, someone looks and says, whatever it is, they're neutral. So they don't really have a dog in the fight. So there's an observation that they may have. Maybe this is how they see it. And right now, I'm sort of on a journey discovering answers. Now, I did this off camera, this same reading, and I sort of got kind of the same message. I got, especially when it comes to like starting businesses and things like that, that's not really my field. I'm not a business person. I'm the help. I'm not really the leader. So that's not really my role. And trying to break myself out of the current mindset and trying to be the business person is not going, I guess, I won't say not going well, but it's hard to change who you are once you become that person for so long. So this is why I'm sort of on this journey of self-discovery type of thing. When people on the outside can say, oh, you got everything in motion. When I say, well, I don't really, and so I'm doing all this searching. But we're still talking about having all your needs met, which they are, because I don't really have obligations that could cripple me. So I do have all my needs met. It's just this little extra stuff on the side. And so this is the card, and that makes sense of what you need to learn. Like your outcome card, this is the card of action. And this is actually quite interesting on this too. So I was in another room doing this, like trying to learn these and things. The other room is full of distractions. Like I got 2 computers in there and cell phones and all these other little things that you can turn on and watch this and turn on and watch that and do whatever. And so I moved out of there into here because there's nothing out here but some candles. So, and a fish tank over there that you can probably hear. And so I have a hard time staying focused on something. And so when we're talking about business and we're talking about the way people see it and the way that I see it is two different things. But it all comes down to action and inaction. And when it comes time to make decisions, I usually don't. And so then you turn around and then you ask, well, what's going on? This is a search for knowledge card. And so this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. Okay, they work. They work. So let's do another one here. Let's do another one. They're brand new and they have purity of energy. I don't want to sully them with Donald Trump, so we won't go there just yet. We'll save the tarot for that. The tarot has stronger bones right now. So this, let's see. So I had an opportunity. I'll be vague because this has got other people's business in it. But I had an opportunity to participate in something that I used to participate in that I thought was no longer serving me. So I walked away from it. But I have the opportunity to go back and participate again. So, should I? Should I or should I not? Time for a nap. This is the card of rest and rejuvenation. This is the card of temporary inaction. Now, mind you, we've already done this reading. I have the, we did it with the tarot, Jen and Ganga Tarot when I did the video with them. They were kind enough to do the reading for me. And so I already got the answer, so I just wanted to do that with these here. You know, we're breaking them in. The positive, not for you. Wow. Not for you. Now, mind you, this card does not mean necessarily not for you. This card means when you reach for something and then it snatches out of your grasp, like you think that you are going, and I guess it really does mean not for you. When you're going along and you're doing something, you're doing some sort of project and you're almost there, and every time you're almost there, it's ripped out of your grasp. Like you can never seem to complete what you're working on. And that's because it's not for you. That's very interesting. They work. They work. Yay. Negative. Truth be told. This is transparency. Honesty. There are some interesting things that came out when they did the reading for me. And Elsie did the reading for me as well. When they did the reading for me, it does have some sort of ulterior motive for someone. This is in the negative, so when this is transparency. So when all that came out, it made sense. And then what do you need to learn? It makes sense. Message in a bottle is prophecy, divine knowledge. Because there is a rotary phone inside that bottle, as you can see that. So there's a message for you. Divine message. Prophecy. So, you already got your answer, is what it was saying. But, yeah, we had to do that. That was neat. Let's see. What else can we ask here? I should have wrote this stuff down, but I just finished the last card learning them. There's still a couple in there that I can't, get right off the top of my head. But we'll learn, because we'll keep using them. And one just flew out. Loyal heart, or loyal heart. This is devotion and love. But I think I got them, though. There's 52 of them. There's 78 tarot cards, so I got those pretty quickly. And I guess knowing how to like join together messages does help in the reading. Let's see. So I did what I should be aware of, and that's the business thing. I did, should I participate in this new opportunity? Basically, no. Well, I haven't done this. So let's do this. Should I? I'm leaning towards a no, but we'll see what the cards have to say. Should I start a new channel for oracle readings instead? Not instead, but in addition to. All that glitters. Interesting. This is masking something, trying to be something you're not. This is the situation in the middle. Regeneration. This is the positive, so this is second chances. The fates, accepting that which you cannot change. This is the negative. What should we learn? Blessed. Something that you get that is unearned or unexpected. So what are we saying here? Should I start a second channel for oracle readings? Well, everything is not as it seems, is what all that glitters means. Okay, what are we saying here? Everything is not as it seems. Second chances with regeneration. Like new life, second chances, new opportunity, accepting that you cannot change. And then blessed. This is what we should learn from the situation. Now that's interesting. Something you didn't earn or unexpected. So, let's see. I'm stumped. Because everything is not as it seems. Okay. All that glitters. Everything is not as it seems. Being something you're not. Covering up or putting a mask on something. Well, what it's saying to me, because this is what this sort of unlocks what it's saying to me, is one of the reasons that you can use tarot in just everyday life is it sort of unlocks a situation. Like you're going along and you think, okay, I got this figured out. And then you run into this bump in the road and you're like, what is going on? I don't quite understand what's happening here. And then you get the tarot, and the tarot sort of clears it up for you in a way, sometimes. And so there's a second chance in accepting things you cannot change. So with these cards here, what it's saying to me is I can use Oracle in a way to help people get sort of like a new lease on life. This is the second chances. And to accept the things they can't change. to make things a little more clear for them. Because what's happening right now is there's a mask on the situation. This is the situation card. So there's a mask on it. You're not quite sure. And so use that opportunity to be blessed. Now, am I? Probably not. But could I? Yes. Because I can use this. See, this is why I'm asking, because I'm not going to use this for political stuff. Like I said, I think the oracle seems a little more delicate for me right now in spiritual form. And the tarot has sort of older bones with me, not in reality, but just with me. And so it seems like, something that's a little tougher. These seems to be more like life lessons, and the tarot is more like predictions. And so now that's just my perspective. That's not based in reality. That's just my own perspective. Because you can use the oracle for whatever you want to. But I don't want to use it for political readings. I want to use it for life lessons. And we can use it for life lessons for political people. I just don't want to use it for, is such and such going to be impeached and all this type of stuff. I don't want to do all that. This is more along the lines of what does such and such need to learn. So, let's do one more. And I could incorporate that into the channel, but I don't know. It just seems like something that needs its own space. Because I can still go and get other oracle decks. The thing with those and the tarot is most of the tarot is based off the Rider-Waite system, so they all sort of mean the same thing. Oracle decks have their own meanings. So you'd have to learn a whole bunch of decks. So, let's do one more. Well, let's break it in. Life lesson for Mr. Trump. What does he need to know right now? Not going political. I'm not going into all what he's done and what he's doing and all this. Just a life lesson. He is the president. A lot's on his shoulders. A lot's on his mind. That's what the job entails. So, coming from a place of compassion, what does he need to know? What does he need to know? Let's see. Higher power. This is beseeching the heavens. This is calling upon higher power, calling upon universe, calling upon God. The positive by the book Conformity and Respecting Laws and Traditions. Looks like the Oracle deck knows you too. The negative, Unfinished Symphony. Leaving something undone. Making amends. Because you have started a project and you did not finish it halfway through, so you need to make amends with those involved. What should you learn out of all this? Work in progress, building blocks, secure foundation. You need to return to higher self. I'm not judging. I'm not saying, oh, he can't do it, and it. I'm not even going through all that. What I'm saying is, despite whether you take the advice or not, I'm not debating that. I don't really care what the cards have to say to you. Return to higher self. Higher power. That's where you need to go. Because your positive is conformity. There is a way back to your higher self. There's a tradition, a custom. It is unfinished. You need to make amends. There is, this is not the card of forgiveness. There is a card called Mending. Excuse me. There's a card called Mending. That card is about making amends. But this card is, you left it unfinished. Like, you have to get back into that and start by saying, hey, sorry, I left this unfinished, and proceed. You have to go back to higher self because you need a better foundation. There's a work in progress here. All of us are works in progress. And as a result of all of us being works in progress, there are things that we tend to leave behind because we're off to something else. We tend to not pay close enough attention to it because, oh, look, squirrel, it's that type of thing. And you need to go back and correct that. There's roads in life that we all take, and sometimes we go down the wrong one, but beseeching that higher power to get a firm foundation. Never mind political this and political that and what I said about this and what I did about that. Higher power. Call upon it. Go for it. Okay, I don't want to end with him. Let's end with something else. Let's do something fun. What can we do? Okay, what can I learn about my channel? I look at it from time to time in my tarot cards, so let's do this. What can I learn about my channel? What can I learn about my channel? Flexible. This is being teachable, open-minded, positive, TikTok, divine timing. So don't worry about it. This is something outside of you. When I get this card, I just started doing this, but when I get this card, it's divine timing. This is my card that says don't worry about it. Like, it's not just that it's destiny. This is something outside of you. So this is not something that you really need to worry about. It's going to happen when it's going to happen. So the open-mindedness and teachable, and then divine timing. And the negative, not for you. So there is something that will be unfinished. Which is interesting. Because I will never retire from doing this, so there is no ending to it. But not for you is sort of a card that says something that is in your grasp. It just gets snatched away from you. So what should we learn? Conformity. And traditions and customs. So let's look at this here. Open-mindedness and teachable. Well, I will say, I'm not unteachable, what I am is hard to reach with something that I don't do, or something that I feel as though I don't know how to do or that I can't do. So when it comes to my channel, there has been a resistance to mediumship. There has been a resistance to trying to do this remotely. There's a resistance to things that I don't do. You know, instead of like learning how to do it, I just say, well, I don't know how to do that, so I'm not doing it. That makes sense then. So there is being more teachable, and then divine timing. Because this is where I'm going this route instead of like, oh, I keep trying to give you advice and you're not listening. No. This is, this card sort of tells me what this card says. Divine timing. So there is a couple of instances where I get these messages and I don't share them because I'm not comfortable with I guess, a psychic interpretation outside of cards. Like, I lean on the cards as a crutch. And so it makes sense of what's in my head. It makes sense of what sort of gets downloaded into me by spirit. And then I can say, oh, the message means this because the card popped up, instead of the message means this because it told me. And so this in particular avenue of being closed-minded is something that was sort of forced to a close, because I didn't want to be a medium. I didn't want to be like a psychic remotely. Well, I did want to be that, but not a medium, because that just wasn't something I was comfortable with. And then I did a couple readings for people, like personal readings, and I was forced to, I won't say forced to, but I had to sort of to ask someone on the other side, what do I need to see? Like, I've got the cards out. I know what they all mean, but I can't make sense of what I'm looking at. And then that in particular spirit broke down to me what was inside the cards. And so when you go and you're comfortable and you're saying, this is who I am, and I'm not really going to shift from that, and then it says, nope, not for you. Divine timing. Conformity. There is a certain amount of when a person, I don't really think that people, well, I guess you can. But psychic ability is not necessarily a talent. I think it's something you're born with, like the sixth sense type of thing. Like, everybody has it. You just don't recognize it because, it's not something we use every day. But, I get a feeling of this, and I heard a little voice say that. And yeah, that's what that is. We just don't exercise it enough. But there are customs and traditions and conformities, and fall in line with that is what it's saying. It's all right. It's part of who you are. It's a part of this whole thing. Well, I said this before, I'll say it again. People flip cards. I watch y'all's videos, and I understand it the moment you flip it. I flip my cards and it makes me think. It takes me on this whole road of, this card says this, but there's a big giant world of the meaning to it, and you have to figure it out. Lord. Well, anywho, that was my oracle cards. Hopefully you like them.